my tiny friends.
Last summer, I went to spend my holidays at my uncle's farmhouse in a village near Khandala, not far from Mumbai. I had been looking forward to this because I always had a wonderful time there. I especially liked the pond in which there were many fish. One day, my uncle and I went fishing. He showed me the place where some frogs had laid their eggs. The eggs had been laid in something that looked like the jelly that my mother often made at home for me. We watched as the jelly melted in the warm sunshine. The eggs inside hatched into tiny black creatures that wriggled about a lot. I called them wrigglers, but my uncle said they were called tadpoles. They were strange little creatures. The tadpoles raced around in the water. Each had a tiny head and a tail. I tried to catch them with my hands, but they slipped out from between my fingers. We caught some of them in a net, put them in a large glass jar, and took them home. My uncle told me to take a bit of weed from the pond and put it inside the jar so that the tadpoles could cling to it if they wanted. My uncle then said,
If you take good care of them, they will change into frogs. It will be just like magic.
I'd love to see that, I replied. My uncle told me that there were too many in the jar. So I put all of them back into the pond. All but 5 of them. I wanted to see them grow. I decided to name them after the Pandavas. Yudhishthir, I'd call it Yudhi for short. Bhim, Arjun, Nakul and Sahdev. Of course, they all looked alike and I could not tell one from the other. But I was sure that I would be able to do so when they turned into frogs. I kept a close watch on my tadpoles. My uncle showed me how to tie bits of food onto a string and hang it in the jar for them to nibble on. He also showed me how to pull it out again so that it would not make the water smelly and cloudy. I left the weed in the water because the tadpoles love it. After a few days, I thought the tadpoles may be feeling cold as they had been in the water for so many days. So I placed the jar out in the sun. A little later, I saw that tadpoles had come up to the top and turned over, showing their bellies. They looked as if they were going to die. I was worried, so I ran to my uncle. He rushed out at once. He took one look at the jar and said,
Oh, the poor things! They are being roasted in the heat.
He quickly poured out the warm water and added some cool fresh water. He told me that tadpoles and many fishes die if the water is too warm. I'm sorry. I did not know this would happen. I hope they will be all right. I was lucky my tadpoles didn't die. They recovered when they felt the cool water. I was really excited to see them turn into frogs. It was like my uncle had said, just like magic. They had once been only heads and tails, but now they were frogs with 4 legs and a square body. Then their hind legs grew, and so did the ones in front. Their tails became short. They sometimes came up to the surface to breathe. I learned that frogs can breathe in water as well as on land. Their new home was a big tub. I placed the tub in a shady corner of the garden. Uncle said that they would soon find new homes for themselves. They would eat grubs and flies and remain healthy. One morning, I found the tub empty. My pandas had gone. Uncle told me that they would be safe and happy wherever they were. Though I was sad to lose my friends, I was happy because they were happy. I have now decided never to take any living creature away from its natural home, be it a frog, a fish, or an animal. Just as we are most comfortable in our homes, they are also comfortable in theirs.